Guys, the last time we had our class, we were discussing about CSS. So we learned some CSS attributes and we learned some new things in CSS. So today we'll be continuing from where we stop. I'll be learning some new attributes in CSS. We'll be learning out, but all we're doing today is we'll try to build a small website. So from the website, we'll learn some new attributes and we'll be able to move on. So it's going to be a pretty long video and I just want you guys to just be patient and try and walk through. So, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to finish the website. I'm going to build halfway. Then I'm going to leave you to build the rest. Then you get my email from the description, so you could just send me a screenshot of what you've built in my email. So guys, so let's get started. I don't want to waste too much of our time. You remember the last time we had an HTML template and we have a style.css. That's our style sheet. So what you just want to do is let's look at our front end. We have nothing here. So now we want to build a small site. Actually, I don't have anything in mind of how it's going to look like, but I'll just start with a nav bar, then put this, put that. We just make something now. Just make something, regular website about the site. We're gonna have services, and I'm gonna leave the rest to you. So let's start. Firstly, let's start with our. Let's say okay, we want to use the header. Let's use our HTML5 header tag. So after that, okay, let's call our nav. You remember the nav, one of the HTML5 syntax. If you watch the HTML5 video, if not, you can just check the previous videos and watch the HTML5 video. So I'm gonna give a class and I will name the class navs. So we're gonna be having a logo. So our logo will be clickable. So let's say okay, logo href is equals to slash and okay. So let's give our logo an ID. Let's call it logo so that we'll be able to access it from our CSS. And in between, we'll put an image, src. So the image, let's go to our images, slash, let's use this as our logo, del. And alt, in case the image is not showing, it should show logo. So let's see what we've done so far. Let's save this and let's go to our page. Let's refresh. Now, oh, sorry, our image is so big, so let's just give it a size. Let's say size. Sorry. Let me just use width. Let me say width is equals to 40 pixels. So if the width is equals to 40 pixels, 40. So let me go back and let's refresh. Okay, we have our logo now. So let's use this. Let's assume this will be our logo for this particular project. Okay, so the next thing is we want to create our what's it called? Our links. That's our home, about us. You know, when you visit the website, you see our navigation link. You see things like home, about us, services. So let's have a div here. Then let's name our div. Let me say items. Then we're gonna have L1. Then inside the L1 I'm gonna have ahref. So we're not gonna link anything. Just put hash. We're not linking into anywhere for now. So let's say home for this. So thank God for Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. So we just copy and paste and paste and paste and paste. So let's say home. Let's say this will be about us, and this will be services. Then we can give this gallery. Then we'll come here and say, let's say contact. Okay, so if we go back to our refresh, you can see we have our links, but we don't want it to look like this. Remember our previous video when we have a nav bar that was clean and so on. So what I will do is we'll style it one after the other. Once we're done with this, we'll style this, then we'll go to the next slide. So let's style this now. So let's do that. Let me save this. So let me go to style. Okay, so first thing I will do is I want to deal with our body. I'll say body. I want to give our body a kind of different color, background color. So let me use actually let me say F4. Let's check that. Let's see if it's working. Okay, you can see it's not white. It's a bit different from white. Let me make it a bit obvious. Let's say F2, F2, F2. So if I come in here now and I refresh, okay, this is better. Still not. Okay, let me just use my color picker since I have access to color picker here. Okay, this is good. Okay, so this is good now. So let's make use of this. This should be better. So now let's style our logo and our navigation links. So how do we go about that? Someone is thinking. Okay, so let's start with this. Let's style this. This is the header that encompasses everything. So let's come here. Let's say okay, header. Remember, it's not a class, and that is an ID, so we're not using either dot or hash for it. It's a tag on its own. So we'll say header. So let's give it the background color. Let's say background color of background color. Let me use black. Or let's use black. I think black would be so good. So let me use black. We want a padding of 0. Let's give it the margin of 0. Let's save this. Let's go back and refresh and see. You see we have black everywhere. We have black covering everything. Okay, so the next thing let's deal with the nav. So we want to style the nav. Let's just deal with the padding. Let's say padding 10 pixels. You'll see what that would do. And now there is display. Display is how your content will be displayed. So we want it in block. So if we go back now, if we refresh, you will see a difference. Can you see we have padding around everything? So display is still the same thing. This is in form of block. So now we're done with the nav. We want to deal with once we're done with the nav, let's deal with the class inside. Let's deal with this particular one, this div with this particular class in it. So the first thing I think we should do here is let's talk about where do we want to put that particular div. Do you want it to be there? Okay. What we want here is we want our nav to be here while our logo is here. So we have to move this to the right. So how do we do that? So let's say okay, in nav, there's a class called item. Then we want that particular class to be float to the right. I want some padding to the top to be like 10 pixels. I'm just guessing it might not be the right thing. Now you see we have this on the right. So how do we make it fill this place and make it look good? So that's the next thing we have to take care of. Now we've taken care of this class as a whole. Sorry, I forgot to add a URL here. Now you see what happens sometimes we make mistakes. If I didn't have that, we don't have a list. You don't have an error later if we didn't do that. So we've moved this to the right hand side. Now we've dealt with the whole class. Now I want to deal with this particular list itself. First of all, I want to remove all those black thing. So what are we going to do? And why I'm putting nav at the beginning is because I wanted to apply to the class item inside nav only. Should in case we use class items later, and that one will not be inside nav, so it will be able to differentiate between the one we are pointing to here and later when we use any class name as items again. So sometimes we have to be careful in our naming, and also it's good when you reference a particular div. Okay, when you reference a particular tag, okay, for this particular div I want this particular class, so that it will help you when it comes to the aspect of naming a particular div twice. So if I say nav again, dot items, then inside the items I want to deal with our UL. That's our unordered list. So our unordered list, what do I want for it? I want a display of inline. So that's another type of display. We're going to see what it's going to do. So I want the list style type. I want it to be none because I want to remove those zeros, those dots. I don't want any display there. So if I come here, if I refresh, now we are having this now. Okay, so we are almost there. You will see why we're using inline now. So now we are done with the UL. Now I want to deal with the list itself. Now dot items UL, then LI, then I want a display. I want an inline display. I think, yeah, that should work. Now you see, this is what we call inline when in display. I think why it's not working here is because I'm actually dealing with the UL itself. I'm supposed to deal with the list, not the all unordered list. So if I refresh this, you can see we're having this. So okay. Let me put it here so that let me go back to, let me put the inline so that it can raise it up a bit, so that the padding, so that it can raise it up, so that it can be in line with this. Okay, good. So now we are good to go. Now, what else do we do now? What else do we do? Where do we go? We are done with the L1. So let's deal with the tag in it itself, the anchor. So we are done with the list. So we want to deal with the anchor. So we'll say nav, then inside items, then we'll go for the UL, we'll go for the L1, then we'll go for the A itself. Then we'll say, okay, now the padding now will deal with the text itself, like the home, the about, and the like. So if you say padding 10 pixels, you will see what I'm talking about when I refresh, when I go to the page. Padding 10 pixels. We don't want all this underline, so let's remove this. To remove that, we'll use text decoration. We'll say none. Now let's give it a color. Let's give our link color. Let's give it the color of okay, let's use the same color, DBA to be something of kind of gray or something. So if I come here and I refresh, can you see? Now we have our link separated, looking good. No underline, nothing, and everything like that. So we might actually want to, like, okay, change the color when we over our mouse on the link. So if you want to change that, all we just need to do is just copy this and bring it down. Then all we just need to do here, we'll put full column, we'll say over. That is A over. Whenever you over on that, we want is something separate. So we can say when we over on it, we want our text decoration to change to something like maybe line through, and line through, don't forget to put a semicolon. Then we want our color to change to like let's use something obvious, something like this. So if I come here, if I refresh this, if I come here, you see, when I put my mouse on it, it's making sense. Okay, so we are done with this part. We are done with our header. So we want to deal with, I'm thinking we should put a banner here. Let's put a banner here. Actually, I've gotten some images inside the folder. Yeah, I have one banner image here. So how do we put the banner image? Okay, so let's move on. What we'll do here is we'll create what I call a section. Let's use the section tag. The section tag is an HTML5 tag. I just come here and say section. So let's give the section a class name. Let me just call it banner. So inside the banner, we'll be inserting a banner. So we'll say, okay, img src. You know, I already have a banner image there, /banner. Then alternative, that's alt. We'll say, okay, web banner. Then let's close this here. Now, if you look at this, okay, let me give you the width. Let me say the width should be 100%. I'm not using pixels this time. I want to fill the whole page, so that's 100%. So if I should come in here, if I should refresh, we should have a banner here. Wow, this is beautiful. So we have a banner here for our website. So it's saying modern furniture, big sales, blah, 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 other noun. So This is beautiful, right? Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, so let's continue. So we've made a banner, and that is a good one. So let's continue. Let's make what else do we make? Okay. I think I remember something. For every website, after we have the banner, there used to be a kind of section for introduction, like telling them about the company in a bit. So let's create another section. Let me call this what name can I give to this? Let me just say section 1, sure. Section 1. So in section 1, I want an H1 that will say welcome. Then underneath the H1, I want a D with a class name. Let's say article, and I want some text in here. So to get some text in here, there is a way I usually get text. I'll go to my browser. I'll just search for Lorem Espion. Oh, you can see it's one of my regular search. Yeah, it's just demo. You can get demo text from here. Just language I don't understand actually. Probably if you understand the language, you can just reach out to me and probably explain to me. I'll be willing to learn this language. So, Lorem Espion, blah 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 blah. Let's just copy from here to here. Okay, I'm seeing some English. Sorry, this is not what I'm looking for. Let me check the first one. Okay, whatever. Let's just pick one. Okay. Let's just pick something. This text. Let's just pick one. Let's just select from here down here. Copy. So when we copy this, we'll come in here and we use a p tag and we'll paste this here. Now, if I should go into my browser and I refresh, this doesn't look too good. Yeah, it doesn't look too good. Let's make it look a bit better than this. Let's bring this welcome to the middle. Let's bring this text to the center. Let's leave some space here. You know those all those things that makes all those website looks good. Okay, so what I'll do is we have section 1, we have H1. So the first thing we'll do is we'll call the class that section. We'll call it section 1. Now we have a section 1, then H1. That means H1 tag inside section 1. I want the text aligned to be what? Center. So this will deal with the H1 only. Can you see? It will deal with H1 only. Now for this, what I want us to do is let's leave some space here. So let's give it some margin. So we'll say, okay, comma, we'll say dot section 1. Then we'll come here, we'll say we'll say margin. Let's give it margin left. Let's say 20% of margin left. We'll say margin right. We'll give it like 20%. I will give you a better advice that it's good to use percentage because of responsiveness. After this particular class, we'll be learning Bootstrap. We're going straight to Bootstrap. Actually, I'm supposed to go into like responsiveness in CSS, but I don't want to bore you with too much code. I don't want to get to a level whereby you find a bit kind of crazy. I told you this for beginners. We'll still get probably later after the course. I'll do special courses on advanced CSS. But I will take you to what I call Bootstrap. Bootstrap is going to help you to take care of a lot of things. We're going to create the same site using Bootstrap. You will see how fast it's going to be. Within 20 minutes, we are done. Now we are almost 19 minutes in and we are not even done. We're not even anywhere yet. Okay, so let's go on. If I come in here now, I refresh this. You can see we have some space here and some space here. It's making some sense. So, we have we have article, a class article. So let's come in here. Let's say dot section 1, then dot article. Then we'll give it a color. Let's change the color a bit, color of the text a bit. I don't want to use the word black. Let me just come in. Let's make it a bit fainter. So let's use this. Let's say font size. Let's make it 20 pixels. So if I should come in here and refresh now, we should have something different. Yeah, can you see the text looks a bit better? Now, we can also say, okay, um, text align. Let's justify our text. We don't want it centralized. Let's justify the text so that the front, this place and this place can look the same. You see, we're making sense. And what next? Okay, let's create a service page, a page where we have services that list our services. We just show something that lists our services. Okay, this is a furniture sales. Okay, probably we repair, we fix, other things like that. You understand? So let's go about that. Let's do that. So that might be where I will stop. So I will leave the rest to you to fix the rest, and I'll be expecting your answers. So let me just give this a name, a class. I'll call it service. So the first thing is we'll need an H1. Say our services. Then okay, now we'll be having 3 services. So we need a div that will house the 3 services. Div class is equals to, let's say, serve. Just leave that serve. So this div will be handling our 3 services. So the first service was going to be in a div 2. So div class, let me just say serve 1. So we're going to have inside our services, let's have should I say we should have an image? Let's have an image. Okay, let's have a paragraph. Then the paragraph, let's have an image, img src. Let me just use one of our images there. I have one image called man.jpg. The width, let me give it 100%. And let me alternative, let's say our services. Okay, now we need a text here. Let's just use the same text. So let me copy this and paste. 2, 3, these are 3 services. So if I come here and I refresh, okay, we have 1, 2, 3. So how do we make it look good? We want to make it look better than what it is at the moment. Okay, good. Let's go this way. Okay, let's style the service itself. The what's it called? The service, that's the section itself. I want, let's say we'll say dot service. Let's make it look different from the previous one. Let's give it the background color of white. White, by now you should know white off, and that's hash 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, or 6. So if you should come here, I'll refresh, everything should be in white. Yep, everything is in white. It's looking ugly. So let's give it a padding. That's like 20 pixels. If we should go back now and refresh, we should have some padding in between our text. Perfect. Now, how do we make this looks I want it to be like one here, another one here. So now we might need to play a bit with what we call our display. We need to play with our display a bit. So let me deal with the H1 first. Dot service H1 text align center. So let's go in there and see if we're there. Okay, we have this. Now let's lay our services the way we want them to be. Okay, so that serve, I'll just say okay, I'll say display. I'll use what they call flex. So that's the way flex works is different. Flex, you see the way flex works now. Can you see? When you say flex, it's spread all everything, all the div you have in a row format. Sorry, in column format. And you can try to change direction. You can say flex direction. You can change your direction. For example, if I say flex direction, I can change it to row, but by default is always in column form. Okay, so let's move on. So now I want some kind of padding and between them. I don't want them to look the way they are. I don't want everything to just be together. Can you see everything just somehow together, and it's not making any sense this way. Okay, let's try that. Let's just put some margin in between. So we have to deal with this one, serve one. So what we just need to do is we'll call dot service, then dot serve one. Let me see if I get it right. So SRERV one. We can say okay. To the right, we can say okay. Let's say padding right, 10 pixels. So let's see what we get. Whew. So imagine these are services we provide and some men. Okay, that's on lighter mode. So this will be picture of our services. I'm very sure they won't be as large as this, so they could be better. So we could just come in here. Let me see. I just want to have this. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Nobody should come for my head if I do this and it's not working. I want to see if if I could add an H1 here and say let's say nailing. Don't come for me. I'm only trying out to see if it's gonna work that way. Wow, it worked. It actually worked. So H1 is too much. Let's use like H5. So let's copy this. Let's bring it down here. Okay, that should be after our image. All our services can be the same. I'm just trying to just make it look. I believe you understand what I'm doing. So we have this is the first service, second service, third service. So this is the description. So we could just come here and put a button and say a button at the end, and the button will be view services. Should I do that? No, I don't want to. But let me see if I can. So we have button. It's an HTML5. Say hello. Let me see how this looks like. I don't want to break our code, so I don't want to. Now you see this is a button. So this button, we're gonna make it. We have a button. So this button will be like view more, to view more about a particular service. So how do we go about this? So first of all, let's say ahref is equals to so inside the href we put our button inside, so the button become clickable. Let's just say view more. Now if I should copy this and paste for everyone, I should have this for everyone. Yeah, so you can see it's clickable, we can view more. It's clickable, we can view more. Let's style the button a bit. So let me just say class btns. So when I come in here, I can say now if I use btns straight, that means every button that carries that class in our project we have that styling. So btns. So let's say background color. Let's just give it the same color. So we'll say color. So that means the text that will show on it should be white. So if I come in here and I refresh, We should have something like that to be 10 because we've not applied the class to others. So, um, okay, there's something we call border radius. I think I mentioned this earlier. Let's just say, okay, 10 pixels. And let's go back and see what happens to our button. You can see it's having a radius of 10 pixels. That's the round part. So it's too much. Let's make it at 5. So we have this at 5 now. So when we click on this, we can say, okay, view more. And we could try to leave it the way the button was before. I think it looks beautiful that way than the styling. Don't mind me, I'm a part styler. Okay, so guys, I've created this for you guys, and I'm stopping here. Yes, I'll stop here. So what I want you to do is complete this website. I want a footer, and I want probably a particular place where it will show list of customers. Just give me something like this and just show the customer maybe like 8 to 9 images, just customer logos like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just list them beside each other. They don't have to be this big. They can be just like from here to here. They're just different logos standing the way our service is. So guys, so thank you very much. The next video you're gonna see after now, I'll start taking us on Bootstrap. So we're gonna be making some wonderful websites better than this, more beautiful than this. It's not very responsive. Now if I should bring my browser here, you can see this is not very responsive. Can you see we can't find our contact, everything. So we're gonna be using Bootstrap to build a responsive website. Thank you. See you. Bye.